Alright, Harada, we gotta have a conversation.
Two hours later.
Like, what's going on here? I don't care if this is canon or not canon. Why are we even seeing this man again? At this point, Heihachi needs to appear in every Tekken game until the end of time. He can't be killed. This man is impervious to pain and destruction. How many times has he survived death at this point? Harada specifically listed Armor King, King, and the original Kunimitsu as being the only people in Tekken history to actually get killed. And he added Heihachi to the list. He said Heihachi actually died in Tekken 7.
Heihachi Mishima is completely dead.
Which, we all saw it. Punched to the chest, heart stops, thrown off a cliff, into the lava, he's gone. We all witnessed that. And somehow, we now see him emerging from that volcano, or whatever that mess was, walking through the lava, just having a grand old time, like there's nothing wrong. How? The man was thrown off of a cliff, and he survived it. Granted, Kazuya survived it as a little boy as well, but he was possessed by demon powers. Is Heihachi possessed with something at this point? We know Jinpachi has a demon inside of him. Did that get passed on to Heihachi? Did Heihachi have the devil gene all along and we just never knew it? Like, what is going on? How is he surviving all of this? This gene that makes him unkillable, does Lars have it as well? Does Reina have it? Apparently she has the devil gene too, which is just a nightmare waiting to happen. You have a Heihachi that also has superpowers when Heihachi himself is a superpower apparently. In Tekken 5, he blows up in an explosion, still survives. Remember, they shot a missile at him in Tekken 7 and he headbutted a missile and it didn't go off. What are we doing? At this point, I'm convinced we need to start building planes, helicopters, buildings, buses. Everything needs to get built out of Heihachi Mishima. Never mind finding cells and DNA to help repair Brian and keep Brian's longevity or help save this person or that person in Tekken lore. Never mind finding a cure for Christie's grandfather and none of that other stuff. We need to be figuring out how to get Heihachi's DNA and how to replicate that. You know, fighting games are funny. Chronica is hinted at in the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1, and people blow a gasket at the thought that she might be returning or might be the final boss. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't happy either. But an overreaction when she wasn't actually a main part of the story mode. Then you look at Street Fighter, we get Bison back, who is always the big bad of Street Fighter in some way, shape, form, or fashion, even if he's in the shadows. So even when Bison is defeated and killed, you don't ever really believe that Bison's gone, especially considering that he has clones and he can put his consciousness in different bodies and stuff. Bison's never really gone, so nobody ever buys it. Heihachi has been killed, or there have been attempted killings, where the fans have perceived him dead so many times, and we buy it hook, line, and sinker every time. It is now officially a meme that if Raven says Heihachi Mishima is dead, we should just assume that he's about to come back and be resurrected somehow. I shouldn't even say resurrected. He has to die to be resurrected. This man he's not going anywhere. Hey, did you get killed? Yeah, I did, but then I woke up. Like, he's not going anywhere. Nothing can be done to this man. And now what? Jin and Kazuya don't have the devil gene anymore, but Reina of all people does? I'm just lost at the direction of Tekken going on in the future. Like, I seriously need answers. At this point, I need to know, are they doing a part 2 of the story of Tekken 8 in later DLC? Cause we gotta get something. And the Heihachi trailer also showed a lot of cutscenes that I don't believe is actually present in the game anywhere. That remains to be seen. But this was a very pleasant surprise, but it's also a very confusing one. Like, my mind still doesn't know how to actually process Heihachi didn't die in Tekken 7. Which I'm not gonna lie also irritates me, because we had to listen to that goofy author or writer with that boring, monotonous voice. The audacity of me to call somebody else out for how their voice sounds, right? Just droning on and on about how people's eyes look, just to get all this stuff with Kazuya and Heihachi and Akuma. And then when it gets to the end, Heihachi's dead. And then it's like, oh, he's not dead, so all this was for nothing. Like, what was all of Tekken 7 for? I get that there is a large possibility that none of this Heihachi stuff is canon, and he's just thrown into the game for the sake of being thrown into the game because we need some cool DLC content. And I appreciate the fact that instead of using a guest character, we brought back dead Heihachi. But this hasn't been expanded upon, and the trailer is painting the picture that Heihachi isn't dead. They just keep saying he's dead. So until I get confirmation, I don't know whether or not to proceed as if this is some non-canon DLC or if somehow Heihachi has been resurrected. Either way, Harada, you've got some explaining to do.
Heihachi Mishima is completely dead.